Ladies and gentlemen, buzzards and gulls, welcome to another Wingspan gameplay video. I am joined with special guest Bautnemo once again for the Collab commentary rematch this time. Go ahead and say hi to the good people of YouTube.
Hello, good people of YouTube. It's good to be back.
As always, grab your favorite drink, coffee, tea, preferred beverage. I've got my water. My colleague also has his Stein glass full of water, which I can appreciate. All right, let's take a look at my opening hand. Oh man, have you seen this bird before? These keep showing up in my opening hand.
I've never seen that bird before.
Well, I guess maybe you all should try it and see what happens. This was match number 2 in the Brambling Blowout between Mr. Nemo and I. And I looked at my opening hand, and I know, playing against you, I know it's going to be a good game. It was a good game last time, and I know you're one of the higher rated players in our group. And I get nervous. I don't know. You know you're playing against a good player. You need a good start. And I see this, and I'm a little bit shooken. Consider me a little shaken at this point.
I can always feel okay with a rough start as long as I've got a good water bird.
Yeah,
but not seeing like a solid water bird, I share your kind of discomfort with this opening hand.
The only thing is that the tray is pretty forgiving for this. There are 2 water birds, or 2 like options that I could play as water birds with that hummingbird and starling. So I know, I figure you probably take one. You might take both, but you don't seem like the kind of player that ditches a nectar and snags, a hummingbird starling. But either way, I think, okay, I can probably snag something out of the tray and then use red-shouldered hawk to gain what I need.
Yeah, I'm curious. The Pukeko is sometimes great, sometimes terrible. What do you think about it? I think you kept it.
I don't think I used it.
You're kind of going back and forth picking it or not.
I wanted to play it as like a desperation waterbird, and I decided no, it doesn't really work with this. I think Pukeko can be good. I think it's better when you're planning out a wetlands engine that you're gonna be using it a ton, and I can tell with this hand and this start that I'm not. So I decided against the Pukeko because I think it can be a trap card in that sense.
Yeah. The other thing what you did is interesting. Is keeping the kiwi at the beginning of the game.
I've been doing that in Oceania. I have found myself in too many games where I don't have good final birds to play and good points to play at the end of the game. And even here, I thought about ditching a nectar and grabbing the hummingbird as well, because the hummingbird, wherever it goes, it helps feed the starling. Did I actually do it? I think I might have. I hate doing this, by the way. I hate ditching a nectar, but ditching your starting nectar. But I figure I can already play the hawk, or I can just play the hummingbird. Yeah, very rare to see me do that. I hate doing that, honestly.
It feels bad because there's so much value you lose. Like you lose a nectar. And if you just get a bird down, you get the 2. Even no matter what bird, you just get any bird down.
Right.
You're gonna get those 2 cards. So it feels like a huge loss of value. This isn't the EE days anymore.
Correct. The only thing I could have done, the only option I had to just like play a bird down was, what is it? That the kite, the hobby. That's what it is. That's in my hand. And then I see you drop the woodpecker, and I was like, yeah, I'm probably going to lose this game.
I was feeling pretty confident, and then as round 2 and round 3 came through, I was starting to get nervous. I was nervous going into the last half of this game, despite my initial confidence.
I also remember feeling that at the end of round 2 and like start of round 3, I was like, am I really going to beat a pileated woodpecker? Like, that start was atrocious, but this is going really, really better. Way better than I thought it would go.
Yeah, and the woodpecker, it's great. It's a 2-edged sword. In a game where eggs are so important, giving out those free eggs, even if you get 2, that can give your opponent a lot of tempo. And so you just got to be careful using that woodpecker.
I agree. At this point, I wonder if I could have just played the hummingbird in the forest and just gone. But I figured the tray isn't that valuable right now. There's only 1 nectar in there, and I don't know. I like to draw early as much as I can. I was thinking about the kingfisher just to... I did take the kingfisher just to get my early food started. Because I figure
it was a good move. Honestly, that kingfisher was a little frustrating to see played, picked up and played, because I was going into a food build, and the kingfisher, it's a good bird to get down in round 1. I like it a lot.
Yeah, the only reason I find any 0-point bird feels like a risk now, because like every single bird you want to make sure you're getting 10 points out of it by the end of the game, like especially the early ones. I think about like my bar is the chickadees, where they just cache 1 food the whole game. If you play a chickadee first turn, you probably have 8 to 10 food on it by the end of the game. And so kingfisher, is this gonna get me enough extra food that would be worth similarly 10 cached food? And because I have Starling, yes, I do think that any extra food is already a point, and I decided to go with it.
I think it was a good move. I think you were right on with that. Did you play the hobby first? I'm trying to remember.
I think... No, I didn't play the hobby. I don't even think I ever played the hobby this game.
I wonder if... I thought I remember some Predator coming down, but... Wish I could see my hand, like going back in time to remember exactly what I had schemed up. But the one consolation in this game for you is that I had a pretty mediocre water bird. I had the merganser, or whatever it's common merganser. Great because it had a cavity nest with a lot of egg spots.
Yep.
But pretty mid draw bird. Although it did hit on its little predator power. Yeah. Which I never count on. Never count on predator powers. They will just break your heart every time.
Yeah, especially especially that specific one that rolls the extra dice. I swear, if there's ever 1 die, I feel like I have a higher success rate when there's 1 die compared to when I have 4.
Honestly, you're right. It's like the 1 die, it's always going to be like that fish or that rat that you need it. But when there's 4 of them, it never hits. Although, so I've looked up some math because I'm a nerd like that. And when you have 4 dice outside of the bird feeder, when you're doing those kinds of powers, it's about a 50% shot. Yeah. Which is still terrible. Right. I love the new predator powers. I'm glad the game is slowly just tried to keep buffing the predator powers, because their first generation predator powers are just garbage. Absolute garbage.
Did you see that big brain kingfisher move that I just pulled there to get myself an extra nectar? So the kingfisher, there was 1 fish left in the tray. Yeah. So I decided to reset it just to see. And it left me 3 rodents and then a worm and a nectar. So then I took the worm with the kingfisher, and then I nectar reset, grabbed another nectar in the new tray.
Honestly, that's smart. It's always safe to just grab that fish, it's in there. Yeah. But that's the good thing about the kingfisher. Like, it's a top tier pink power, I think, because it's hard to fail. You can fail a lot of the other, food gaining pink powers, but
there's 4 sides of the die that hit the sacred kingfisher.
And most importantly, those are all the non-nectar die.
Yeah, exactly. I'm trying to think what would I think about. I wanted the snowy owl for a tempo play to drop it, lay an egg, then drop another one. Collared dove, really, that's where I was like, ooh, a bird that makes sense, finally. Yeah. Because now Starling And now I'm like, it's all coming together. It's like, okay, I just need as much food as possible. I can drop the collared dove later, like maybe third, hopefully before third round. The cerulean warbler, I see that as like a third forest bird play to just push it one along, get yourself another bonus card to look through, and then you just need one fourth one, and now you're getting 3 per turn, and you just feed it all to the starling and the collared dove.
Yeah, it's got to feel good drawing these cards early because it gives you a direction.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I don't remember exactly what was in my hand, but I remember just thinking, I need something here. I need a little bit more direction because I don't think I had really had my plan set in stone yet. Although I will say by default, I go for a food build. And no matter what I do, I want to find anything that gives me extra food. You know, if I had that hummingbird in my hand, I'd probably play it just because if I can use my food more efficiently than you know, with the woodpecker and better draw cards, that hummingbird's worth to play because each additional food in Oceania is so valuable. Like, it doesn't even make sense, honestly, sometimes how valuable those cards can be.
So I thought about playing the snowy owl in the the wetlands just to compete with yours, but I decided not to because I've got this collared dove and I want to start building my forest as quickly as possible. So I decided, all right, you can just win first round. I generally just think that's a good philosophy to have, just not chase the first round unless it falls into your lap nicely. And then, you know, I want to use these 2 eggs to play hummingbird and then take food and then warbler and draw cards if anything good shows up before that.
Don't you play the hummingbird in your water right here? Or did you play it in your forest?
So future me believes that I should have played the hummingbird in the forest, but I'm pretty sure you're right that I did just play it in the wetlands. Although future me, looking back at this game, wishes he had just put it in the forest and not chased this end around, because I don't know, I guess it's not that bad here. I don't know, sometimes when I'm in game I make better decisions than when I'm out of game. Who knows? This game went fairly well for me, but...
Yeah, it was a compelling game. You know, it's not like it was wrong. It also helped that you weren't feeding me food the rest of the game, to be honest, so...
Yeah, I figured with your woodpecker, like feeding food, generally you just can't have enough food in this game, but it's a lot less scary to feed food into somebody that's already building a forest engine versus if I play a wood hummingbird and you're building a full tuck engine. Now I'm scared. Oh yeah, yellow rumped warbler. He's
so
fun.
Jealous, dude. It's one of my favorite birds. Like, favorite birds to see in real life, favorite birds to see in this game. Like, I'm just in love with this bird.
So, fun side story. My wife and I were just like watching TikToks together before bed the other night, and she found this like birder TikToker that like has this bird feeder and has like a live cam and just watches it all the time. And there's another one, that raven. That I was jealous of that. But anyway, we're watching.
You can't hug all the good cards, bro.
Yeah, well, I want to. That's Wingspan. So I was watching this bird TikToker and North American birds, and because I've played this game so much, she would like, bird would show up on the feeder, and then the name of the bird would show up like 2 seconds later. I found myself saying the bird's name before it posted. I made a little quiz out of it. My wife was like, "God, you play that game way too much."
Oh, it's bad. I started recognizing birds. I got a pair of binoculars for my birthday a couple years ago, and then it was downhill from there. I never recovered. Yeah. I still haven't recovered. I'm absolutely addicted to bird watching and just everything that has to do with birds.
It's so fun. Kingfisher giving me delicious foods.
Yeah, you're getting such good value out of that kingfisher, man. It's so good.
Hey, did you
And it
see?
just hurts a little bit extra to give you eggs and food every time I activate it. Like, it's a great counter.
You see this raven? This raven,
I
I
wasn't mad when you grabbed it. It didn't feel too threatening, honestly.
one ravens just never hit like they used to. They don't. They two. I suck at playing Raven builds. I watch Tekken Cash winging it, and I watch them put these beautiful builds together, and then go off with their Raven, and they do crazy things. I watch Master Wing do it. I watch all these people do it, and I'm like, okay, take notes. Okay, this bird works with it. This bird works with it. I can't do it. If you're pro tip, if anybody's out there playing against me, just give me the Raven. You'll probably watch me fall apart. I hate Ravens.
Yeah, I was playing a Brambling Blowout game like yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Turn one, like first round Raven.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even get 100 points.
Ugh.
I had a Moltones and a Raven. I didn't even get 100 points. I had a Robin too. I had an American Robin.
Mm.
I did so bad. I didn't have enough food. I fell for the Sandhill Crane Raven trap, which
Ooh.
for the old school Wingspan, that's great. Go for it. Crank your egg engine, get points. But the game's not about cranking engines anymore. It's about playing birds and getting food.
Playing birds,
And
getting food.
couldn't get any food.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel you there. So one of these turns here, I think it was even this one right here, you didn't use your woodpecker because you saw that I had you had 3 eggs and you saw I had none. And I was so annoyed. You actually set me back so badly by doing that.
Yeah, it's I don't know. It probably wasn't even intentional. It was just one of those lucky things. But either way, if I can realize I can push out that food engine all the way with my 3 eggs, I can get all the way to the 4th spot and force you to take the lay eggs action. Like it's a terrible action for you to take 2 eggs. That's it, right?
Yeah.
If I can force you to take that terrible action, that's going to give me a huge advantage. And I think that's what I was aiming for, is just trying to force you to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd still keep my momentum. I wouldn't lose any tempo by doing that.
Yeah, you had a really good instinct there.
Yeah, and I think getting to that 4th row, getting your 4th row filled it's so critical in this game. You got to get all that extra food down.
Yeah.
It just means so much to get to that 4th row and crank your engine. So jealous of that Warbler, dude. It's too good.
Yeah, it's
You're hogging,
pretty good.
You got the tuck and draw. You're hogging all the bonus cards. I don't think I got a single bonus card the rest of this game. Because look at this.
Hey, there's
Look at
another
this.
one. Could you imagine? And I have this Raven that is a Raven. Man.
Ravens are frustrating. They're not what they used to be.
They're not. And I want them to be. I think they can be so good for like locking down the nectar battle, but it's just not. It doesn't feel as strong as like, wood deck, pileated woodpecker, even Maine duck. Like, there's just so many birds that just unlock so much more potential nowadays.
I think the problem with the Raven is that it used to be a centerpiece.
Yeah.
And now it's a support vehicle.
Yeah.
It needs support. It can support what you got going on, or it can be the centerpiece if it has very specific pieces around it.
Yeah.
But on its own, it's not the main show anymore.
Yeah, I wish I had just tucked it with the Warbler here. Because I don't think it worked out as well as I wanted it to. Because, like, I'm already kind of starved for eggs. So, yeah, I'm just stacking food. I think last time we played, didn't I talk about how, like, I hate stacking non-nectar food to win the food and personal supply? And here we are in the other side of this game, and here I am stacking non-nectar food to try to win.
Yeah, it's one of my least favorite end of round goals because I want to use my food. I want to get going. I don't want to just sit on it, and especially because you can't use it with the nectar. You
Yeah,
can't save your nectar for the next round.
yeah, totally. I figured with my setup, with knowing I've got a dove and knowing I've got a starling, that it's safe to just stash all food. Um, but it certainly hurts.
All right, this is my secret weapon so that I can get the warbler after all.
Yeah. Once again, didn't you do this the first match too? I think I dropped, what is it? Morning Dove.
It
Yeah.
was the morning dove. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I
It
dropped
was the
Morning
laying
Dove.
egg on it.
And
Yeah.
then you dropped Tui instead of this superb lyrebird. Same thing though. Just take my forest birds. It's fine. You can use them.
Honestly, they are such wild cards, but I love the lyrebird. Like it's one of my favorite birds in this game to play because almost always, unless they're doing some crazy like raven egg build, people almost always have a good food bird, good forest bird.
Yep.
So it's one of my favorite birds. I probably lean into it a little too much. I probably take risks with it.
Yeah.
Doesn't always pay off like last game, but
I thought
I
it
was
did
happy
alright
to
last
see
game.
to get use out of your tuck and draw with it.
Yeah. I think that's one of the best ones to have copy ability. The only other, I mean, what are some of the best forest birds that I can copy? Rufus owl. That's a pretty good one.
That would be a good one. Some of the predator powers like butcher bird, I like it.
Yeah.
I think there was at least once where I actually just grabbed a food and I just copied your sapsucker. In fact, I think here I copied your sapsucker because I was like calculating. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to snipe this end of round goal.
Oh.
Until your kingfisher,
Yeah.
that I'm upset with, very upset with right now.
I remember that. You even like you literally messaged me on Discord like as soon as this round ended, and you were like, "Gosh dang it, forgot about the sacred kingfisher."
Yeah. I would have been okay if I at least like pulled it up to a tie, like hit one ahead, then your kingfisher evens it out.
Yeah.
But losing after that, it was disappointing to say the least.
I'll be honest with you. I was planning for this end around, but I didn't realize how close we were, and I didn't think like, yeah, the kingfishers got me out of range of you. I just figured, yeah, I got plenty. I'll probably win it, but yeah, now you give me an egg.
Well, again, I'm at that fourth row filled. I dumped a card
Yeah.
and used the lyrebird to copy your woodpecker or your sapsucker or whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah, that hurt. That hurt. I think this is when I started getting worried about this game, is when I lost that end of round. Because you have a lot going on here. I don't know this, but you've got a lot of good birds in hand. I think
Yeah.
pretty soon here you start cranking down all of these freaking bonus card birds, and I'm left high and dry because you hogged them all.
Yeah.
And that's when I started getting worried.
My eyes got so wide with that cassowary. I saw it, man. I was like, that is a ground nest. That is like, I would 100% end of this round drop it on that kingfisher. I don't need the kingfisher to trigger in the final round. I would rather have 2 free cherries and 4 eggs on a ground nest. And a better player than me would recognize, because spoiler alert, you take the cassowary, and I forgot you took it. So you guys can, those watching at home can infer who wins this next end around from that.
Yeah, dude, I love the cassowary. I love it. It's just, it gives you tons of eggs.
Yeah.
My favorite thing to do with it is, even if you have a full forest, you still use it to like drop 3 more nectars into your forest and pass your opponent on nectars. Like, that's just
Yeah.
chef's kiss of the cassowary, man.
Yeah, it is. So I like the way that I played this out, except for that raven. I'm pretty sure right here I don't know if I dropped this warbler. I think I did. And I think it was a good play to do that and just use normal food. I think that's... I don't know. What did I do here?
I'm hoping you don't take both. Okay. Because at first you had both those eggs taken off the snowy owl, which wouldn't have been ideal, but...
Yeah, I just figure I'll have to lay eggs again. Yeah, ethologist. They're 6 points each. I don't think either one is better. This would have been really good for Rybill, because now I know there's a 6-point burden there, but didn't have Rybill this game.
Yeah. I mean, I totally forgot about your Starling. I think because you didn't use it the first 2 rounds, I literally forgot that it existed. And I think later in the game I was like, where did those nectars come from? How did you discard all those nectars in your water habitat?
Yeah.
I literally forgot that it existed. But that with the Eurasian collared dove, those are like just such good tuck powers. Like I love the tuck power bonus card.
I think I used the Raven next, foolishly, because it pushed me 1 more so that I could get 3 eggs and then 2 food. Figured it's safe to just take any food because I know I'll tuck them with... I don't know. I don't hate that I played the Raven, but I don't think it was optimal.
I think it was okay. Just the fact you're getting some extra eggs from me, and that's usually what the Raven needs, is some egg support to be good. But you also don't have anything else to like combo with it really well in your grasslands.
Right.
But really, you needed more eggs. So, like, as good as Raven is, a bird that said lay an egg in your forest, or like a tuck and lay in your lay eggs in your grasslands, or just a tuck and lay in your grasslands, that would have gone really far for you.
Yeah, I think so too. Man, look at this feeder. I think
it's the worst when no nectars show up, dude. It's like, that's the whole point. That's why I bought this expansion, so I could get nectars. I want a refund, man. What is this?
It's such a buzzkill. Why do we even have fish and rodent sides still? Like, why didn't they join the cherries and just also be nectar sides? Why can't this game be easier?
I sometimes get the complaints about nectar and how like it's overpowered or whatever, but they make the game way more fun, dude. Old school of like, you need that cherry that so bad, or you just need a rat or a fish. Like, you just get disappointed every time. You couldn't count on a bird feeder reroll. And addressing that and just making food more accessible in general, I think was a huge boon to the game.
So here's my take on Oceania. I genuinely feel like this was the way the game was supposed to be designed. Like, I think Elizabeth what's her last name? Elizabeth Hargrave?
Hargrave, yeah.
Yeah. I genuinely feel Elizabeth Hargrave just put it down past past Knack Nester. Just put it down. You had it down. You could have played it. Corsica Nuthatch is fine. Whatever. It's fine. That's fine too. Just put that down. But anyway, I genuinely feel Elizabeth Hargraves, she designed this game with nectar and with all these birds, and she had these ideas, these mechanics, and like built this first. And then, in editing, in playtesting, she felt, this again, theory, this is a hot take, I feel like there was too much of a learning curve, too many hurdles with the nectar and with all the different mechanics. So she had to tone it back in order to allow the game to be a bit more accessible. Just put down the nuthatch, man. Just do it. Just don't put the Raven down.
Indecisive here. It's honestly hilarious looking because I don't see this on my end. I just think, oh, he's thinking really hard. He's calculating the perfect thing.
He is.
But what you're really doing is like, this bird, no this bird, no this bird.
Just put down anything with the Raven, please. It's a trap, and you know it. That's why this is taking you so long. Listen to your heart. Please. Please. Just
I
put
don't
like
remember what you put down. I'm excited to see because it's been like Wheel of Wonder here. Who knows what's gonna happen?
none of them felt right. And then I'm pretty sure I put Raven down here, but no, I keep coming back to this. I feel like she designed this game like this, and this is like the way, this was her like design, her like optimal way for this game to work. And maybe even with the Asia expansion, I don't know, I haven't touched it much. And then she had to like release the base set and the European set as a way to like build the player base that would want to play this more complicated version. Because I really do think this is the way Wingspan is supposed to be played. I think this game feels so much more unlocked. It feels like every bird has at least something to do. And not every bird is good. Some birds are clearly better than others, but it feels like all birds could be useful just for having a wingspan, nest type, habitats, names, like all these different aspects that give them inherent value in different places. I think it's so much more cohesive in this version of the game.
Yeah, I feel you on that. And one of the main criticisms is people wondering, oh, is Wingspan an engine building game anymore? Like, it's because the name of the game was crank out your grasslands and lay the hell out of your eggs, right? And that's fun. It's fine. But it's a game about birds, right? You can do that with so many other types of games where you just have like basic engine building, whatever. The fact that this game is about birds, it's about variety. It's honestly, it's a beautiful game. Like that, all of that contributes to like how this game is so awesome. And the fact that it's moved away from like a pure engine building game and into this play as many birds as you can game, I think is more in line with the spirit, and just it adds so much to the game to have that. So I'm a fan.
Yeah, I'm a big fan too. 1 second. Oh,
thanks for not ruining my take of my speech about
I was
the new
holding
Wingspan.
I was holding that in. There's going to be clips where the cough is cut out, but we're discussing how... Wow, that was a really bad cough, Caleb. I feel like random YouTube viewers are going to be like, what are they talking about? He didn't even cough. It's because I edited out, because I'm kind to your ears.
I'm pretty sure the Vireo comes down because you need that clutch nest, or I don't know, what do you call it? I call it a clutch nest. So
you call them clutch nests?
Yeah,
we called them
it's a little clutch, right? Little clutch.
To me, that looks like a pile of rocks, so I always called it rock nests when it was just my wife and I playing. And look at this, fodder for the kiwi.
Yeah.
No, so this is what we called them all. Okay, so that's a bowl nest on the end, right? That's what it's supposed to be. We called it cuppy nests. They're just little cuppies.
Yeah, I'm with you there.
And then
call it a cup nest. I'm on Team Cup or Cuppy. That's even cuter.
Yeah, cute little cuppy nest. All right, and then star nest. That's obvious. That one stays. Cavity nest. No. That's a flag. Like that is clearly a flag. That shape. That's clearly a flag. That's a flag nest. All right, and then that's a pile of rocks. That's a rock nest because you lay eggs on piles of rocks, obviously. And then all the platform nests, they're always on predator birds. So we just called them predator nests.
Well, that seems very politically incorrect. And I believe the predators want an apology, right?
Oh, don't go into that neighborhood, son. That's a predator nest.
Yeah. There's innocent people here like the Eurasian collared dove that don't belong here, and you are judging them way too hard. So yeah. No, those are good names. Yeah. Technically, I've listened to the Science of Birds podcast. Okay.
Oh.
I told you I'm obsessed and addicted.
Love that.
It's technically a mound nest. I mean, like in the game, it's a ground nest, but like birds that lay mound and ground nests are classified in this game as ground nests. So like a flamingo makes a mound that like sticks up, a foot or two, and then it's just a mound of mud. And then they lay their eggs here. So it's a mound nest or a ground nest. The technical terms, technically. So,
well, actually, you know what I wish I had done here? Looking back at it, just play the collared dove and take food. Not in that order. Take food now. Ditch the kelp gull. You've got a spare card. It's fine. And then you've got 2 eggs. Play the collared dove. Which ended up being, that ends up being less points for grassland data analysts that I just drew. So it worked out. But looking at it now, I think it makes sense.
But you might have had to lay eggs. You might have needed eggs for that round.
Yep, you're right.
So almost, although if you had counted on me gaining food, you would have gotten, the Bell's Vireo free egg, but...
Yeah, I think you're right. I did need to take... Yeah, and then I even ditched... I think the kelp gull actually hits one of the bonuses, too. Let's see, I have...
Large birds, maybe?
No, large bird is the ditch with kiwi, so I'm not concerned with that. What do I have?
I don't know, you've got a lot. You've got 4 more than me. I'm sitting with Uno bonus cardo.
At this point, I'm like, this is a great board. And his board isn't as cool. I think
it's not that big. I've got a big old, Death Valley in the middle of my board. Yeah. And your board's full. You have 5 bonus cards. I don't know this, but you have a kiwi to filter those out.
Yeah. But look at how much more points your birds are worth. I think you have more bird points, even though I have way more birds. Because all of my birds are 4 or less.
That's true. And all of mine are 4 or more. So
right. I'm telling you, Oceania, you got to keep the point bombs. And I will say, I think Warbler, Nuthatch, Vireo, they're all, as long as they hit 3 bonus points, I mean, those are, 2 food, 7 points, usually, depending on what they hit. In this case, and then they have higher upside because if you play them early enough, you can plan out for them. Sometimes they hit each other, too.
Yeah, I was sad to see that Bell's Vireo down because before you played it, I was hoping I'd be able to edge out this end of round, but you forced the tie, which was pretty sweet.
Did I, though? Yeah, I thought I was going to win it. That's what I mentioned earlier, right? I thought I had you because I was like, oh, I have 2. And then you dropped the Buzzkill.
Cassowary.
Yeah, the Buzzkill bird. I said that.
That's the other thing about the Superb Lyrebird. Sometimes I'd rather have the Lyrebird because it's got a star nest. It's worth a ton of points. It hits a bunch of bonus cards. Mm-hmm. And then copy, your Warbler or whatever powers that I need to.
Yep.
Just because, you have 1 point on that Warbler. I have 5 points plus a star nest on my Lyrebird. So it's not bad.
So at this point, the only reason I didn't play the Planeswanderer, I figured Planeswanderer was super valuable to you because I figured you had something you were going to play in your grasslands, and even then, if it only draws 2, it's still 2 bonus cards that you can look at. But I knew you couldn't play the other 2, so I took it. But I knew I wasn't going to play it because Collared Dove, it's only 10 points, but only. It's 10 points.
Only 10 points.
And it finishes Viticulturalist, so it's actually just as valuable as Kiwi, which we know Kiwi's going to ditch large bird. So those two are insanely valuable birds. So it's painful to see, but this is why I'm so heartbroken that I played the Raven, because I've used it once and it is 4 points, 3 food. Just imagine the possibilities that I would have if I didn't waste my time with this god-forsaken Chihuahuan Raven.
Plus, it's sucking your eggs, bro. Like,
it is. It is. Ugh.
Well, you get a small consolation in the fact that my big old wetlands bird play was only a diver, and it wasn't like a puffin. You know, I would have been happy with a puffin. I would have been happy with a bonus card. That's all I wanted was just a bonus card bird.
Mm-hmm.
Instead, I get a brown power that I'm never going to use.
Yep.
So,
I'm assuming, did that help your bonus card? Your one bonus card?
It actually didn't. It didn't affect my bonus card at all. I just had food and had a great blue heron and needed to play something. And it's 5 food.
You great
5
blue heron
points
for
for 2 food. It's okay, but it didn't do anything for me, unfortunately.
Oh, love to see it.
Yeah, it's always nice to hit, you know. You're taking a 0-point bonus card, you're turning it into 9 points. Like, it's just the Kiwi is just is it the best bird in the game? Hot take. Is it the best bird in the game?
No, it's not. It's the best. I don't even know.
Is it the best point bomb in the game?
That's a better question. That's a better question. Best bird in the game, it really depends on what point in the game you're at. Best point bomb in the game, I did keep it in the opening hand, and even, I don't know, the only time it really doesn't work is if you've got one bonus card in your hand and you can't find another one, which is super rare, but if you can't find another one and it's like omnivore and you've got 10 points on it already, then you don't play a Kiwi. But that's so
exactly
rare.
What my hand would have been. Like, the Kiwi would have been useless to me because that's what my bonus card is here. It's,
omnivore.
Spoiler alert, it's omnivore. So
yeah, that's the only time you don't play a Kiwi. Versus like Puffin, you always play it, right? So if you can, I should say, right? But I mean, they're both 3 costs. I think it's between Kiwi, Puffin, Benelli's always seems to be really good. Yeah, I think that's my top 3. I can't think what else would.
You might consider like the Great Egret that lets you play another water bird. It's 7 points on its own, and you play another bird. You know, that's just a big old combo.
Sure.
That might count. Like, I love getting an egret.
Yeah.
The Plains Wanderer might be up there. I mean, it's
not
up there for, you know, base points, but you can usually draw 3 to 5 bonus cards from it. That's always good if you've got a full board like what you do.
Yeah, a lot of these birds, the problem is it's apples and oranges, because some of them are like, they can be, like Blythe's Hornbill can be 7 plus 6 points. You know, that can be insane. That's what I love about this. They're all situational, right? I'm going to say Puffin just because it's a star nest, and you always want to play it.
That's true.
It's never a bird you don't want to be playing. It's never wrong to be like forcing a Puffin. And it's a star nest.
Yeah, that's true. And there's probably less inherent risk with a Puffin versus a Kiwi. Mm-hmm. Like, maybe all your bonus cards are worth at least 2 or 3. You've got to pick one of those to ditch. Mm-hmm. And unless it's like the last turn or almost the last turn and you know what's going down, like, it can be risky that you throw away a card that you maybe somehow would have gotten a couple extra points from if you had just been patient or something.
Sure.
Yeah, this is a scary board. Like, 1 versus 6 bonus cards. That's all you need to know.
Yeah, 6 bonus cards and 15 or 20 tucked cards in total, because I'm going to play this collared dove. and ditch 10 food total between that and the Starling and get 10 more tugs.
I don't know what I'm thinking, but I guess I'm grabbing even more food.
You never know. Honestly, your food action, like you said, this is still an engine building game, and your food action gives you the most points right now.
Yeah, but I'm swimming in food.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering, I gotta remember, I know I picked up the raise, I've got that. That's 8 food to max that out, but I can't quite remember. This is probably one of my little bit of a calculation turn on what exactly I need to finish out and play, hopefully at least 2 birds at the end of the game here.
Wait, don't you remember you played like 4 play-a-birds? Play an additional bird. You filled out your entire grasslands in 1 turn.
I only have 3 cards in my hand, I think.
You gotta believe harder, it sounds like.
I wish there was like a brand or something, I don't know, something in the grasslands. Then I could have just soaked up all the cards I needed. Fulfilled all my wildest dreams of nonsensical playing 4 bird, 5 birds, you know.
My cat might be joining us on this video.
Oh.
Come here.
See, this is where I forgot about your Starling. And I don't think I knew you had the collared dove. I think you top deck that. So I was like, what's this idiot gonna do with 5 nectars, dude? Like, there's no way. He's like, maybe you have like
this idiot
a double play in your wetlands, but I was like,
this idiot. Tell me what you really think, Nemo.
I'm telling you, I'm not holding anything back. I don't remember. I think you win this last end of round goal. I'm pretty sure you just lay eggs, but man, I'm jealous. I'm jealous of that collared dove.
Yeah, it was a big. There's a point bomb. 10 points. As long as you have the food for it.
I mean, one of the most ideal setups is to have food engine like what I've got set up in round 2 or early round 3, and then just crank the food and just tuck it under your dove or your Starling or both, and like play a couple birds along the way, but just crank, and you can't have too many food. Like I really don't think you can have too much food in this game. Like, it is so hard to end the game and just have like, oh, I have 4 food left over. Like, how often does that happen?
True.
It's so hard to have too much food in this game. So, dove's definitely a favorite to get to use.
Agreed.
So I'm trying to see how many cup nests you've got. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah.
I got 2. I don't think I don't lay eggs here. I just, because I have that lyrebird hanging on to that 1 egg for me.
And there's that Australasian, or is that Australian? I think it's Australian.
Sure, you're
Sorry,
counting. You're really counting like by ones with your mouse over each one.
Yeah.
There's mental math, you know, bro. You can...
I just wanted to make sure.
The funny thing is that you're at 9, so it's like, is it worth it to
so
lose an egg to get 1 point? I guess it's a tiebreaker. It's worth it.
Right. So
but
yeah, I think I did decide that yes, it's 1 safe. Because I know you can't lay eggs twice, but I thought about, like, what if he drops like a Say's Phoebe and gets 4? Because you do have the food for that. So I thought, okay, if he has a Say's Phoebe in there, I don't want to be devastated. So I decided against it and just play the safe play and just keep all 5 on there just to make sure that I'm still ahead. I did think that through. And knowing you would have a Say's Phoebe ready for that. I've played against you before.
I wish. I wish. I seriously don't remember what my last play was, but I'm excited to see because I'd be happy with Stays Phoebe. I love those birds. Used to be like I feel like they were mid tier, but since OE, I love birds like Stays Phoebe. Like they just bring joy into my soul, especially if it means I could have sniped that end of round from you. But
So I've used Say's Phoebe and what is that? The dove, the Inca dove. I've used those in like round 2 or 3 just to give myself 4 eggs to start with or something. Like
yeah, tempo.
They're such
sure.
good tempo birds now. Oh yeah, the turkey.
The turkey. Yeah, I think I was just mediocrely satisfied with that turkey. It was all right. Actually, you know what? I think that was like a last minute Hail Mary. It was a tuck and draw the turn before when I copied your warbler. I think that.
I'm so glad that my warbler did that for you.
Yeah.
And look at that.
Great. No, I didn't have great card draw. Like it was tough.
So I'm looking at
and
this.
I thought I was gonna win this nectar in the bottom too, and I was literally just like, what the heck is going on?
So I looked at this and I was like, there's no way I've lost this game. I feel so confident at this point because I've won all 4. Or I've won most of the end rounds. I've won 2 nectars. I had a good set of bonus cards. I was so like, wow, this is good. And then I saw that point total and I was like, Jesus Christ. 60 some bird points. Okay.
Like when I saw the parody, like literally this is neck and neck. It doesn't get closer than this. I was like, oh my gosh, what's gonna happen?
20.
Ooh, 20 cashed.
20 cashed foods. 19
20
tuck
tucks.
cards. I audibly was like, I lost? when this counted in person, I was so surprised and I was so impressed because I was like, I lost. What just happened? I had such a good game. But I was also, I don't know, admiration, man. I really. So yeah, that was our rematch.
Yeah, there's always luck in these games. There's always luck.
Always.
And I mean, what are the chances? I got 1 bonus card, but I made it count. I got 12 points out of it. Like that's just luck. Getting all those omnivore birds, it's luck.
I mean, that's what I love about this tournament is there's, you get 36 games over 2 groups, right? Like if you look at the leaderboard for the Brambling Blowout, it's legends in the community. It's stacked with, you got Devim, you got Jeez the Beast, you got Flan's probably going to make it in there at his current win rate. I mean, you got a lot of excellent players in that top 20. So, there is luck to it, but at the end of the day, everybody that made the top 16 100% deserved it. And I did not, at this point in the game when I lost to you, I had already accepted defeat. I've already got too many losses, but I was still trying my best. And I was like, man, I'm proud of you, Nemo. That was a crazy good game you had.
It was fun. It was fun. It was one to tell my friends about. I really just couldn't believe the outcome of that game. It was so fun. You're such a good opponent to play against.
Oh, thanks, man.
And I really enjoyed it. So.
Yeah, I love playing against. I just like playing this game in general, but there's players around here that are just so good that just really make you think. Groove and Devim, they make me think every single time I play against them. I'm just like, okay, you cannot make any mistakes if you want a chance. And even Ronster, he was on a heater for a while. He gave me a tough game the other day. Yeah. Well, I hope all of you viewing at home enjoyed this. I hope you were able to finish that beverage of choice. I hope you do not feel near as sick as I do. And thank you again for joining me on the channel. You got anything else you want to say? You want to plug your channel this time?
Oh yeah. It's a small YouTube channel. I just started it recently, but it's called Tier Span. Going over the birds of Wingspan, and I just go over it round by round. So it's really fun, and I just want to help people understand when birds are good, when are they bad. Point bomb. When is your point bomb good? Obviously, but it's called tier span. But thank you very much.
Yeah. I'll put that link in the description. I have watched his videos. I agree, it's really interesting content. He always comes up with the nerd stats when he joins me on this channel, and it shows in his videos. So go check him out, and remember to like, comment, subscribe. It really helps the YouTube algorithm, and I hope you all have a wonderful day. Cheers.
Thank you.